So it should be live. Woo! Oh. So Brantley said he would be about 20 minutes late. So I guess I'll try to hold down the fort for that long. I don't know, maybe I'll sing a song. I won't, though, I promise. Just... Hey, yeah. Just... This is very exciting for me. First time I've had a stream of my own. I've been on a couple. You know, I really didn't plan anything to talk about in particular on the stream. I've been, I don't really know where I want to take the channel. If I, if I want to do, more anti-woo stuff, Jilly Juice, MMS stuff, anti-vax, or if I want to do more, religion-based videos, or maybe a mix. That might be something I do. Oh, thanks, Christy. You're great. So yeah, I guess I should introduce myself. My name's Mikhail. So the way I'm an atheist. I think that's pretty clear by the title of my channel's name. So I grew up a Muslim, a Muslim. My family wasn't super strict or anything. Really, we I think I maybe went to a mosque twice. It wasn't a big part of my life, other than we didn't really eat pork, and every once in a while, one of my classmates in elementary school or middle school would say I was gonna burn in hell for not being a Christian, and then I told them they'd burn in hell for not being a Muslim. Then around like 13, 14, I got pretty into it. I started reading passages from the Quran. I actually started going to bed listening to it as an audiobook. And I started really getting into it, looking into stuff about it. And at the same time, I started, going onto YouTube and watching videos from like Logic and Armored Skeptic and, a couple other people. Back when the focus was just on Christianity and, the kind of communities focus. So, and I don't know why I found it fun. Probably because I was the only Muslim in where I live. But that I found it kind of entertaining, very fun to watch these people on the internet, tear down, make fun of, in some cases insult, Christians and the Christian belief. I think mainly because being the only Muslim in the area, they were very prevalent, and there was a couple times when, like I said, people would. There was never I never got discriminated against or anything like that, but there was times when people would say, oh, you're gonna burn in hell. You need Jesus, or things where people just assume that I was Christian and would start kind of like preaching, assuming they were talking to a Christian. So I found it kind of fun to watch them and their arguments being torn down. And then, I started looking, as I learned more about Islam, and, I realized a lot of the things in Islam were the same in Christianity. And a lot of the arguments applied that Christians used, Muslims used, and a lot of those, so it came to the point where I couldn't be honest intellectually and be a Muslim. So, I kind of just grew away from it. My family was never strict to begin with, so it wasn't, I didn't really have to overcome a great deal of indoctrination. But after that, I was just kind of floating. Like, I knew I didn't believe in the Abrahamic God or any God in particular. So I found the videos of Alan Watts, the recordings of some of his lectures, and I started listening to those, and kind of took those to heart, instead of like religious things. And then I started looking at more philosophical things in general, trying to fill that void that religion left. And eventually I just figured, it's great to know this philosophy stuff, but I started treating it more like a religion. Like, this is how life should be, rather than this is an interesting way to look at life. And then, I just kind of came to accept my atheism. And I still I still listen to philosophy videos, still do that kind of stuff because it's interesting, because, I like to learn about how to think. But I don't necessarily treat any particular thing with more reverence than anything else. Uh, wasn't there like a Hitchens quote or something like that? Nothing is sacred. Don't hold anything as sacred. Something like that. And I think I just kind of accepted that. Uh, what's that about? Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm reading the live chat here. Tiny. Interesting observation. When you reached for your water bottle, your voice sounded better, less tiny. Less tiny? When I was like further, was it I just got louder that my voice sounded better? Or was it because I talked louder? You're talking about oh, thanks, Christy. Yeah. Yeah. B. Millsabub? No, I'm not talking about sacred cows. Although there are no cows that are sacred. I'm Pakistani, not Indian. Grew up Muslim. I feel like Brett Kavanaugh just chugging water. Okay, so I'm just gonna move my mic a little further away from me then. I hope that the stream is picking up audio from my mic and not the laptop. I've done what I can to do that, but I don't know if it is. Do I get louder when it's up close or softer when it's farther away? I have another page, another computer here with this stream open, and I just realized how much lag there is between what I'm seeing and what you guys are seeing. Volume stays the same. Does it get louder or softer the closer I get to the computer? And when I'm further back? Yeah, because I got this new mic specifically to start doing YouTube. So I'm really hoping that it's working and everything like that. Don't know if I mentioned it. I think I might have, but Brantley said he'll be about 20 minutes late, which, that's that's cool. Life stuff happens. Hey, Brantley, you're in the chat. Awesome. So 5 minutes? All right. Ooh. And if anyone else wants to hop on to the live stream with me, hang out with me and Brantley once he's on. Oh, his mic broke. It's very sad, Brantley. You're in my thoughts and prayers. So yeah, that was the story of how I became an atheist. And then my technical difficulties. Yeah. So I don't know. Maybe like everyone in chat is creators that I've watched most of your guys's. I've watched videos most of you guys have put out. So I like your guys' input on this. What I'm trying to figure out the direction that I want this channel to go in. Like, I know I definitely want to be comedic, a little bit more comedic, more jokes. Hence the channel name, Atheist Joke Boy. But I don't know what videos I particularly want to put out. I'm gonna put the water bottle down there. It's just easier than reaching across. So, Brantley, I prefer the north. North is a far better direction. Yeah, I definitely won't be doing edited videos anytime soon because I'm terrible at any kind of editing. I'm gonna. Yeah, I'm thinking of. I'm gonna mess around with editing stuff because I do want to do, less off the cuff videos that are maybe more in-depth responses to things. But I'll have to figure out how to use something like that. If anyone has suggestions for like good free software, to do editing, stuff like that, I would be very interested in your opinions. So yeah, I think for now, my channel will be probably dedicated to live streams and hangouts and stuff like that until I can figure out how to use Streamlabs. I just cannot figure it out. I think I might want to host debates if anyone is willing to come on and debate. That's something I can do without having to know how to use Streamlabs. I can do it with the Google Hangouts. Open shot for videos. But it's good overall. Oh, thank you, Lavender Lady. Open shot. I'll check that out. So I'll pop that into my notes on my phone right now. Yeah, because I know I'll forget if I don't.
Furious I am. I was informed.
Boop, boop. Quick memo. Add new. Open shot. Software. Wait. Woo. Yeah. VSDC is not simple. It's so simple I can figure it out. All right. So I'm just going to leave my phone open with notes so I can take notes. I do think I want to do other genres of videos other than like woo debunking and stuff like that. I think maybe I also want to, I don't know. I like dramatic readings of terrible fan fictions. I think I might have a couple videos like that once I figure out editing. VSDC. Just because not enough people have read My Immortal on YouTube. Said no one. But it is hilarious and more people should hear it. So I might do stuff like that. I'm a pretty big D&D nerd, so I might live stream some games of D&D on here. I'll join. Woo! Brantley's ready to join. Where's the invite? No, that's screen share. If I can figure this out, I will send you that link, Brantley. Nope, don't want that. Oh, it's the button right up top. Don't I feel like a rube? Yep. Control C. Hop on to here. Atheist joke boy. Woo! 10 subscribers. Thank all of you. I'm just rolling in subscribers now. Real Shannon Q over here. If this thing will... All right. YouTube. See. Brantley. Control V. Enter. All right, Brantley, I sent you the link on the YouTube Messenger, but I'm going to pop. All right, Brantley, I sent you gonna mute myself on this, and I'm gonna put that link, Control V, in chat. Reduce that window. Close that. Yeah, so I put the link to join in chat if anyone wants to. Yeah, Brant should be on in a minute. Yeah, so if anyone has any input on anything whatsoever, I'd be glad to hear it, you know. If I should grow a beard. Actually, I'd love to grow a beard, but I can't. You were right, Wonder Lady, Lavender Lady. Well, you are wonderful, but you know. Good point, Lucifer Almighty. Actually, I cannot find it now. All right. Oh, I should be on this computer. See, these are things that I should learn. Remove. Yeah, hopefully I won't get any. But if anyone does want to join, I will send you a message or find you on Twitter and send you the link there. Yeah, I've been on a couple of streams. That's mostly how I've gotten on streams is people just put the link in the chat and say anyone join. And then last night I was on Steve McRae's channel for the after show. He just let anyone join, so I hopped on there, made a couple jokes. Didn't really say much. So did anyone actually see Non Sequitur last night? It was Destiny versus Jeff Group. It was pretty entertaining. Destiny got real triggered by people saying epistemology one too many times. Yeah, didn't say super a lot on the after show. I did feel very entertained just watching it from being in there. Hey, Brent.
Oh, hey.
Woo! Someone here I can talk to now.
I have to mute the stream. All right, I'm good.
Woo! What
Trying
is?
to pull it up on my laptop as well.
Yeah. What is the up, man?
I broke the little dealie right here on my microphone when I was moving out this table I have. So I had to fix it.
Ah. You know, little dealies just breaking all the time. It's terrible.
Yeah. Most of my dealies break. Like the deal I had with you. Oh.
Yeah. Ho, ho, ho. Yeah, so did you happen to catch the Non Sequitur show last night?
I caught the end of it, and I have to say, epistemology. I just had to say it one more time.
Just epistemology.
Just to piss off that, what's her name? Destiny. Her name's Destiny. That's what her name is.
Yeah, Destiny got pretty triggered about the word epistemology. And to be honest, like last night, I wanted to rip my ears off anytime anyone said it. Then I was on the after show, and then people kept saying it. Yeah. I still have both my ears though, so I controlled myself.
I have heard, it only takes 40 pounds of pressure to rip your own ear off.
I mean, the human body is super fragile.
I
also,
would.
like, not.
I mean, you can try it if you want. If you don't believe me.
I mean, I'm not.
If
I mean, I enjoy Van Gogh's works. Not about to emulate his physical appearance.
All right, I'm pulling up the live chat right now on my laptop.
Yeah, I also have it open. This is it's really nice. This is my first stream, as you know, and everyone else in chat knows. Didn't really have a topic. You got any ideas, Brantley? There?
Woo. You were talking about Woo earlier, and I have to say, pop out chat. Sorry, I was talking out loud. My sister tried to convince me. I wish I would have actually kept the bottle, but she was trying to convince me to take this bottle of trying to remember what it was, essential oils, and spray it in the back of your throat in order to prevent colds and flus.
Let me guess. It was from doTERRA, and your sister is a doTERRA salesperson.
No. Nope, it was not. It is actually something all of her friends started doing. So I looked up the product, and it's actually a disinfectant. The very first ingredient is denatured alcohol. And I tried to explain to her that that is poison.
The fuck?
You are spraying poison in your mouth. And she's like, well, that's what kills the... I'm like, you sound... She laughed when I told her that there are people doing... what is that called? Paint thinner, whatever that is. The people who are taking paint thinner every day. She laughed at that. And then I told her about denatured alcohol and how it's poison. And she was like, well, no, it cleanses you because it is. I'm like, if that worked, then drinking alcohol would work.
Yeah. I've done
so frustrating.
Yeah. I have a little bit, like a itty bitty tiny little background in biotech. I basically took the equivalent of a freshman college intro to it. It was actually a little bit more intense than that. Yeah, no. Alcohol, like that is really bad for you.
Yeah. Yeah, they make it that way because they don't want you to drink it, I guess. Yeah. And then the second ingredient can cause birth defects in lab studies done with mice.
You know, no offense to your sister, Brantley, but do we really want people taking that stuff to have children?
She is pregnant right now.
Oh, the poor thing.
So, yeah. But there is some good news. As I've said before, I think I actually mentioned it in our last stream. My sister is a anti-vaxxer.
Oh.
Well, she actually has turned face or whatever about some of it because she has gotten her daughter the polio vaccine and
thank God.
I think a few others, like the main ones, but the one that has a combination, she wants to find a doctor in Seattle or Spokane that will actually what is that? Do them all separate because it's a binding agent that apparently causes problems.
Well, you know, at least she's not a
trying to get them. Yeah, she is trying to get them. So she's not as stupid as I thought.
Yeah, it's
still kind of. And even after I printed out this, I should try to find it really. There's a article about this this cleanser and this when you look it up, it's actually under cleansers in Amazon. So, but I should try to find it and screen share it with you because there's this whole article. Show history. Sorry, you can talk about whatever. I'm just going to look for this for a second.
Yeah, that's insane. I'll be honest though, I usually don't get a flu shot.
I normally don't either, but I should because I've had
Yeah, we
pneumonia.
should.
I've had pneumonia
okay.
like 4 times and I've had to get antibiotics every time. So I should probably get one every time.
Yeah, I mean it's one of those things that people don't really understand just how serious the flu is. But it's definitely more important to get your polio and MMR vaccine and that kind of stuff.
Oh, sorry. I was just looking at my search or my history, and I just remembered to tell you that I just downloaded DaVinci Resolve 15. It's a completely free editing program that you might want to check out as well.
DaVinci Resolve?
DaVinci Resolve, yeah. It is nice. And it works with all the same keyboard shortcuts as either Adobe or Apple, whatever their thing is. It has a few different options when you load it up.
Oh, that's yeah. I'll have to look at that.
You definitely should.
Yeah,
I'm going to start using it myself.
Yeah, I definitely want to put up a couple like edited videos, maybe more thought out responses to things. Although I don't know what to respond to. It seems like everything that I see that I would want to respond to, other people are already doing it better than me. I don't know. Maybe I'll just have to find some real wing nuts no one's touched yet.
I'm still looking through my. Boy, I was on Facebook a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My speaking of essential oils, my mother happens to be, used to be a doTERRA salesperson. She was in that pyramid scheme.
Oh, really?
Yeah. doTERRA, it's insane what they're telling their people. They're telling them that, just a drop of their oregano oil will, or their peppermint oil will.
I read about that.
Yeah. Right. My mother was actually at one of their classes that was run by her chiropractor. And apparently one of the things they went over was a scientific discovery that a single drop of essential oil rubbed into the skin can then be found present in every cell in the body after just 10 minutes.
Really?
Yes. I have no clue how anyone would ever find that out. Apparently, I asked who had run the study, what the study was called, where they did it. Apparently, that information just wasn't mentioned.
Well, of course not. Why would it be?
Yeah. My mother's a big fan of using doTERRA products to help prevent colds and what. She'll start getting a sore throat or the sniffles or something like that, and she'll take On Guard from doTERRA, and next day feels better. Totally doesn't think it could just be that it have got over by itself.
Or it may have worked, but not in the way. Oh, I have something muted here.
I mean, you go.
Yeah, it could just be that. Oh man, my head isn't with it. I need some caffeine or something. Sorry.
Okay.
What is that called? If a placebo effects do work. I mean, it's just not the way you'd think or you'd want it to.
Yeah. I am Oh, yeah, like if you took a petri dish and you grew a lab strain of E. coli in it, right? And you dropped some essential oils in there, you would kill the colonies of E. coli. Reason being not because of the, because it's the essential oil of orange, but because of what it's in. Like the essential oils that you get in bottles aren't just straight up oil, right? It's suspended in an alcohol or something like that. So it'll kill what's ever in that petri dish because of what's in it. But consuming it's not going to get rid of the flu. That's just not how the human body works. 3 drops of oregano oil won't, cure anything.
Well, this is I don't know if I'm screen sharing yet or not, but this is
You are.
the okay, I am. Awesome. This is a website I found, and it seems to be a pretty legit website of just debunking things. And this is an article I printed out for my sister, and I think the title kind of says it all.
Thieves, essential oils, crimes against public health. Agreed.
Yep.
Whatever
And I even pointed out that the founder, I mean, anyone can, I'll link this in the chat, but the founder of
Hey there.
Hello.
Yeah.
Oh, somebody else. Hey.
Hi.
Yeah, I'm so glad someone else decided to join us,
Yeah, it's the Lavender Lady in all my glory. No need to stand. Just throw money.
Oh, okay.
How you doing?
So what's your PayPal?
Who, me?
Yeah, I was kidding. You said throw money.
www.patreon.com/the Lavender Lady.
Awesome.
I'll find that and I'll put it into the description.
Thank you. I have one Patreon. I have one patron that I know of. I haven't checked since then, and I want to thank him very much for that. By the way.
Yeah. Like if you guys want to do shout outs at any time, feel free.
Oh, yay! That's a good thing. Yeah, you put out the invitation. I thought, okay, why not ruin a channel? He's just getting started. I could just send him right down the tube, so never see the light of day again.
That sounds about right.
Yeah. So, Lavender Lady, what are your thoughts on essential oils?
They smell nice. Yeah. As far as that goes, I really don't know of any verified benefits. Like relieving pain or curing colds or anything like that. I'm inclined to believe it's a bunch of crap, but then again, I have to watch it because there may be something to it. Remember that when you take aspirin for your headache, that has its basis in chewing on willow bark, the way the Greeks used to. So yeah, it could have something to do that's good, but I don't know what it is because I really haven't looked for it.
Yeah. Anecdotally, like I know like smells are great. Like my nephews and their mother, so my sister and her kids are living with us right now.
Okay.
Just moved up from Florida, so they're looking for a place. And I'll tell you what, rubbing a little lavender or diffusing a little lavender scent in their room does help them sleep.
Yeah.
I don't think it's properties of lavender, but smells.
Yeah, I'm kind of partial to lavender. Well, actually, that's not the source of my name, but I am kind of partial to lavender.
Aromatherapy can have its benefits.
That's the word I was looking for. Thank you.
Yep. But from all the research I've done, it's stress relief. That seems to be the only benefit is stress relief.
Yeah.
Everything else is just a bunch of woo. And actually, the company that was making that essential oil was suggesting putting it in a capsule and swallowing it, which really isn't recommended. They even say, don't do this with any other essential oil because it's too dangerous. Only do it with ours.
Yeah, no, essential oils
Uh,
shouldn't be ingested unless diluted. And even then.
Yeah, even then it's just risky. Then you
yeah,
have an emulsion.
I might use peppermint oil in candy making or something like that, but
Yeah.
you know,
That
that's
makes
about it,
sense.
kids.
Like, not to rep for doTERRA because I just fucking hate the company. But doTERRA does have food safe products, which, you know, if you are going to use
Oh
them in
shoot.
food, you know.
I forgot to share this out.
Oh yeah, please do.
I'm such a I'm late. I don't share things out. I'm just such a great guy.
Really, like, what good are you, Brand?
I'm good at stacking paper.
It's an essential job for humanity.
I'm so good at it.
Yeah, Landon, you talk about lavender working on anxiety. Well, I like to take a lavender bubble bath every now and then, and I haven't done it in a while, and I really need to. But I'd really like to know how the essential oil thing works with that, how the aromatherapy works. I took a degree in neuroscience years ago, and unfortunately, I had wanted a PhD, but I wasn't able to complete it. I so I'm really interested in that sort of thing, how the neural networks work, and I'd really love to find something. If anybody knows how that aromatherapy stuff really works, because I find that fascinating.
Yeah, I mean, I have like barely a background in anything at all, but that's something I'd find interesting as well. Um, but
I find all sorts of things interesting. I find so much interesting. I don't know how I have the time to look at any of it.
and I kind of know what you mean. Like, I will get hooked on hobbies or like a line of research like that. Like, I blacksmith because I thought it
Ooh,
was cool. Yeah, we have a local organization here where I
Is that your
live.
D&D character? A
A
blacksmith?
black. No, currently I'm playing a prepare to be nerdy, a dragonborn cleric of the Forge domain.
no idea what that is. Of
See,
course,
I'm just too nerdy.
I've never played D&D, so that's why I'm ignorant.
I really
Mm.
want to, and so does a buddy at my work. Neither one of us have ever played it, and we're like, yeah, it turns out you need friends to play D&D. But
Yeah,
What
yeah,
is
that's the
that
difficult part.
friend that you speak of?
yeah, I've read in books about them.
Um,
I shouldn't talk that way. I've got some lovely friends online. The only problem is they're online and you don't get to have coffee with them over the dining table. You know how that works.
yeah.
And
Um,
it's really great to have somebody in the room with you, which is what I miss.
Yeah, I don't
speaking of
know.
people wanting to play it and not having friends to do so, I might live stream D&D. Like, if people are interested in joining in that, I can do it over Roll20 kind of thing. It'd be super great to have a bunch of my internet acquaintances slash friends. I hope I can call you friends. And play D&D. Maybe have some good atheist riffs.
Oh
I
yay!
I came close by accident inviting one of my white supremacist friends to the stream and decided not to.
Oops.
I mean,
Okay.
I mean, I do eventually want to like moderate debates and host them on here. So keep the guy in mind. Just I don't think this
Yeah.
stream is the place for that
No,
kind of.
no, probably not. If I can't get through to him, I don't know who can.
Oh man, yeah, that
I don't know
whole.
this space. I'm pretty convincing. Come on.
I am going to step out for just a second and go grab a drink because my
Alright.
sister. Okay, first off, to start over, my sister made me a advent calendar of just soda pops of all different sorts.
Oh my! I haven't seen anybody do an advent calendar in ages.
Oh, it's awesome. It's just this cardboard box with bagged,
Yes.
glass bottled um, soft drinks. I had one that was a Japanese soft drink that you had to push a little bead like a marble into the neck. I wish I would have kept the bottle because it aerated the soda as you drank it. It's
Huh.
really interesting.
All
Christy,
right
boot who?
then. Who? What? Where? When?
I
What?
don't know. In the live chat, Christy is saying to boot somebody. I don't know if she's like joking or if someone said something in chat that was terrible.
Yeah, let's be clear about that, honey.
It's I mean, there's like what this is saying 11 viewers. So I'd hope no one is being deserving of a kick.
I'm reasonably sure that it's just a funny little thing, but then again, you never know.
Yeah. Better safe than sorry. Yeah.
Certain essential oils are effective in making insect repellent. Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah, like there's stuff I know it's good for, flavors, smells, that kind of thing.
What's that candle that people like to repel mosquitoes? Citronella? Is that it?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
I'd be interested to find out if there's like some property of the essential oil that makes it good for that, or if it's just the smell that repels bugs or something like that.
Yeah, it could be either, really. I mean, maybe a insect that likes the smell of poo-poo would not like the smell of some flower or something,
Yeah.
Who knows?
And
I'm being weird, okay?
I am currently very against anyone using essential oils for, like medical or health reasons or anything like that. But things like that, like if someone comes to tell me that there has been a study showing that essential oils can regrow limbs,
Oh, come on.
then of course I'll check up on it.
Ask
And if
Ray
it's
Comfort. You saw that you saw that video that he did
no, but I'd believe you'd do one.
about
Maybe that'll be
growing.
like the first response I do.
He did one about growing back a fingertip. I just had to respond to that one. Oh, it was misrepresentation of one side and down the other. Well, that's Ray Comfort for you anyway.
You know what? Have you heard of Jilly Juice? I feel like most people have.
Ow! 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 we did a show on Jilly Juice over at Movie Night. Are you familiar with the Science Strike Force?
I'm actually subscribed to him. Yeah, I haven't watched any of his videos yet, though.
If you want a night of mayhem, yeah, you've got to watch the Movie Night here in the Eastern Time Zone. It begins normally midnight on Friday, going into Saturday, and then goes for the next like 8 hours. And I've been a part of that for the last few months, and it can get crazy and fun at the same time.
I'll have to check that out. You want to talk about the Eastern Time Zone? I live in Maine. We are the most Eastern.
Okay, you're damn near what is that, Atlantic Standard Time, the one offshore?
Mhm.
I thought I remembered. Yeah. Oh, the sun comes up early and goes down early for you.
Yeah. I live in the western side of Maine, so it's not quite as bad. But when you get in, there's not much of a difference. But once you get into the coast, it's a little bit insane just how early and how the sun rises. Right. Like, you go.
I'm right in the middle of the Eastern Time Zone. I'm in Pittsburgh.
Mm.
So solar noon occurs at noon Standard Time here. And what I'm doing in Pittsburgh, I haven't the slightest idea. No, actually, it's not that bad. I came out here 30 years ago to be with somebody. The relationship lasted about a year, but I stayed. And here I am. It's not a bad little place. It's just that these Steeler fans out here get on my nerves.
I know nothing about whatever sport that is.
Oh, that's American football.
You know, yeah, I'm. Sports are like the farthest thing from my mind.
Okay.
But yeah, I
I
hear
thought
fans aren't great.
I thought Steelers were criminals. So it's as well.
Terry Davies.
They probably are. I mean,
Terry Davies, you ask where I was previous to here. I grew up in Cleveland, Ohio, which I don't know if that's any better or worse than Cleveland than Pittsburgh. I really couldn't tell you. There's a demographer I know who lumps Cleveland and Pittsburgh into a single demographic unit, calls it Cleveburg. And you do notice when you've spent some time in both places that they're quite a lot alike. The same manufacturing heritage, if you will, like the mill hunkies out here. And well, Cleveland used to have some steel mills going as well years ago. And when I say hunkies, I'm from an Eastern European background. His side of the family was Slovak, and her side was Polish. So I mean, how hunky can you get? And there's a lot of that heritage out here as well. So it wasn't like me moving from Cleveland to Los Angeles or anything like that. But it was still an interesting thing.
Yeah, I personally haven't lived very many places. I've stayed in Maine just about my entire life, so I barely know what anyone of another race looks like.
Oh my word! I'll tell you, it's really, really interesting. My my time on this planet spans a time of racial change in the demographics. I mean, when I was very young, let's say 3 or 4 years old in Cleveland, it was so white it dazzled your eyes. And then a few black families started moving up into the Cleveland area from down south, a migration of black, I guess you could say sharecroppers, cotton pickers, and their descendants moving north for manufacturing jobs. And as soon as those first few families came to the neighborhoods, all of these mill hunkies, xenophobes that they were, started running. And they initiated what was called the White Flight, wherein they were selling their homes for whatever they could get for them to get into an area where these darkies weren't around, which led to unscrupulous people buying up these cheap properties, renting them out for whatever they could get for them, while putting none of it back into the properties in maintenance. And of course, what comes of that is slum. And when I look at aerial views of my old neighborhood in Cleveland, I want to cry because it looks like Baghdad after 1991. Just desolation, really. I mean, talk about Daniel, the abomination of desolation. Yeah, this place is horrible. It makes, as I say, it makes me want to cry. But that's what my parents' generation did.
I keep thinking about
them. Say again.
I keep thinking about buying up property in Libya or Yemen. I think their prices are probably going down right now, and they'll eventually go back up. So
I mean, eventually, if you're buying land in Yemen, start a coffee farm.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, what is that good coffee growing territory?
Yemen was the place where drinking coffee was invented.
Okay,
They
fine.
produce the best coffee in the world.
Okay, fine.
Perfect.
I learned something today. The day did not go to waste. All right.
I learned that for some reason Mexican 7 Up doesn't taste as good as American 7 Up for some reason.
Probably has less sugar in it.
Probably.
Yeah.
Oh no, it's typhoid. That's it.
Okay. Yeah, I
Yeah.
don't know if it would be less or more because a lot of the American soft drinks have that garbage. What do they call it? High fructose corn syrup.
Mm.
And I'll tell you, I remember how like Coke and Pepsi tasted when I was a girl years ago, longer ago than I care to remember, actually. And I know how they taste now. And yeah, it went way downhill. And now that they started introducing the Pepsi with sugar and the Coca-Cola with sugar again, it's better. Still not what it used to be, but man, when Passover would come around and you would get the Pepsi for Passover, I would be buying up cases of that stuff because it was so much better than the regular Pepsi.
Yeah, I know when I move to Pakistan in just like a couple months, I probably won't be able to find any American drinks other than Fanta. Because they drink Fanta over there. It's just Fanta.
Okay, okay.
Maybe I can find Coca-Cola, but it's probably Fanta. Guess I'm gonna have to learn to like Fanta.
Oh man, I haven't seen Fanta in ages. I don't do very much of the soft drinks around here anymore, but I remember Fanta when I was growing up. Uh, well, the MSB, the male slimy bastard, the person that everybody else called my father. We'll go into that later. Had a beverage store, so there were all sorts of brands of soft drinks around, as well as different beers and everything else. And I got to know all that stuff really young.
Well, you might know of Moxie then. I haven't seen it anywhere but Maine.
I know of it. I haven't had it. I understand that people call it an acquired taste,
It
which
is.
means that I would probably love it.
I
Uh,
find it delicious.
I'm a
Really
Scotch.
without
I'm a
liking it.
Scotch drinker, so I would probably love Moxie.
Yeah. Moxie and Whoopie Pies. If you don't like either of them, you're just not a true Mainer.
Whoopie pies. The is it the chocolate with
Basically,
marshmallow
chocolate
layered in?
frosting.
Say
Yeah,
again.
it's
Yeah,
basically like chocolate cakes and frosting in between them.
yes, those I know about.
Yeah, they're delicious.
I haven't had one in longer than I care to remember.
Yeah, that's Needham's. That's a candy we have up here. It's basically like you take potato, you puree it, sugar, egg white, that kind of thing, and then you dip it in chocolate. Haven't seen that anywhere
Oh,
either.
sounds delicious.
Yeah, they're great. Um,
It reminds me of some of the kosher candies. Because again, that whole sugar thing for Passover, you'll get a lot of potato products, including potato candy.
yeah,
And no, I do not come from a Jewish background, but somehow I picked up a lot of that stuff. I don't know.
I was
here
wondering.
our most northern county basically only grows potatoes, so we have a lot of potatoes.
Okay. Now, actually, I grew up Roman Catholic. Where do I have? There's the beverage button. As I like to tell people, the slimy bastards raised my sister and myself Roman Catholic. She found Jesus. I found Carl Sagan.
Yeah,
Yeah, she became one of those really, really annoying Pentecostals that do the whole, she called it slaying in the spirit, where you were like rolling around on the floor as if you were having an epileptic seizure. And this was supposed to be some holy thing where you were touched by God and the whole speaking in tongues. And
If God is touching you, you should go to the police. Show him where
yeah,
he touched the doll.
yeah. Or if God's representative is touching you, you should certainly go to the police.
Oh yes.
Well, a lot of that is coming out now, so that's a good thing. And you know, that's the amazing thing. Yeah, when this is where I'm going to probably get you wondering what's going on here, but I'll explain it as we go along. I used to be an altar boy, and I was never molested, and I felt kind of left out.
All right, I'm
But-
just gonna have to dip out for a second.
Iggy,
Just a single second. Brant, be entertaining. I know it's hard for you.
Oh,
let
damn.
me entertain you, and we'll have a real good time, yes, sir. No, I'm not.
I keep looking down at chat, and everybody's been talking about OPA. I don't even know what that is.
Opa, what is this? What is this,
I-
Opa?
I don't know. School project.
gotta-
Yeah, I don't know if you have chat open or not, but I'm just like, oh, what the heck? I'm sure
Yeah, I've
they'll
got-
kill me.
I've got the chat going over here. One of these days, I'm gonna remember how to use the pop-out chat, but I've just got it with the mute on right now. Yeah, Opa. Okay, well, there's the Opa that I know, Landon.
Okay,
Yeah,
yep. All
Grandpa
right.
and Grandma. Opa's grandpa and Oma's grandma.
All right. Yep. That makes sense. That makes sense now. I think I remember something like that from Pineapple Express.
Okay, now where I came from, it was Babka and Detko. Babka is Granny and Detko is Gramps.
Hmm.
In Slovak.
Oh, okay. I see. My well, that would have been different. I was gonna say my science teacher in like 8th or 9th grade, he used to know Polish because his grandmother was Polish, so the whole family spoke Polish. It was
Okay.
kind of weird. But sounded a bit familiar, but that's totally different region, country.
Well, not that different, really. Babka came from, I forget what village Detko was from, but Babka came from a village that was just about on the Slovak-Polish border. And I'd have to go into my files to find the name of the place and pin it down on a map. But it's basically northern Slovak Republic now.
It's so weird. I keep hearing a cat, but I don't own a cat.
No, that's Sylvia.
Oh, okay. So it's on your
Yeah,
end.
That's the kitty that has me.
All right.
You don't have a cat. The cat has you.
Okay. Oh yeah, no. I know that. But I just moved out of apartment I was in for a year back into my parents' house, and we had at one point we had 4 cats, which was too many cats for 2 guys who don't like taking care of things.
Oh man, that brings back some memories. There was one short period a number of years ago where I was had by 16 cats. 12 of them were kittens.
Oh man. That
Yeah,
would
my
be-
2 girls had litters at the same time, and that was, oh my word.
that would have been hell and paradise at the same time.
Mm-hmm. You had to
Oh,
watch
wait, that'd
where
be
you were
heaven.
stepping
Yeah.
because you didn't want to get anybody underfoot. Yeah, and it wasn't easy.
I really bet not.
Yeah, but yeah, that whole bit about my being an altar boy. Yeah, when those 2 brought me home from the baby store, they named me Edward, and I took care of that. Finally got the chance to take care of that when I was 52 years of age.
Yeah, that's good. Never too old.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, sometimes I find myself wishing that I was able to have transitioned earlier, but then again, the time wasn't right.
No,
I
that
was
makes sense.
I was born in 1957, so about the time that I knew something was up, it's 1967, and the climate isn't very good toward transgendered folk.
Hmm.
So I had to wait for a while.
Yeah, I've always wanted to transition, but only for like 3 days, just so I could fool around a bit.
I hear that more than once. It's kind of cute. When I was younger, I wished that I had a toggle switch, if you want to call it that, where I could toggle it one way and be what I had to be to keep everybody happy. In other words, Edward. And then, when I would have the opportunity, toggle it the other way so I could be the girl I knew I was.
Oh, yeah.
And sometime I go, yes, dear, what do you want? What do you want? I found to my surprise a few years ago that I wasn't the only one to have thought things like that.
Yeah. So I wonder if that's what it's like for like non-binary people or gender fluid people.
I know it's kind of like that in a way for me if he's cute enough.
Okay.
Yeah. So
Oh man, that was what shook me up. About 10 years ago, I actually fell for a guy, and it was, holy hell, you mean I'm not as lesbian as I thought I was?
Well, there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, even if it's just bi curious,
Yeah, I mean, it didn't go very far. He turned out to be a jerk, but it was a learning experience, I'll tell you.
Well, I can relate with jerks. I've been one my whole life. I've only come out about 5 years ago. But, people do accept you after a while being a jerk.
Okay.
Oh,
Yeah.
no, not jerk. Not jerk, atheist. That's what it is.
Okay. Just
You know what was so funny?
smug atheist.
In a family where the Catholicism was worn as an identity badge, they couldn't recite a plank of Catholic doctrine to save their lives, but Catholicism was the us versus the them of everybody else. In that sort of family, it was actually easier for me to come out as atheist than it was for me to come out as trans. Figure that one out.
Have you ever seen that Monty Python skit? I'm a Roman Catholic. They do a song and dance about Roman Catholics and birth control.
Oh, I think I know the one you're talking about.
I'm a Roman Catholic. What was it? It's so good. It's hilarious.
And is that the one that morphs into every sperm is sacred?
Yes. Yes.
Oh, those people are crazy.
Yeah.
There's where they are really, really damaging. Those, be fruitful and multiply things. With this damn rock already has too many people, and they're making more. Damn.
Yeah, it's crazy. Hopefully, they'll stop.
Yeah, the one cousin that still speaks to me had 4, and there are times I'd like to punch her face. If you're listening, hi, Kathy.
Yeah, no, there's Mormons around here where I live.
LA.
Yeah,
We have those.
they're everywhere.
Yeah. I discovered their like main temple, I guess. because Google Maps took me the wrong way when I was trying to go to a drag show
Oops.
3 weekends ago. And I wound up and I wasn't participating, but that would have been great because I had to turn around in this
You'd make a
parking
great
lot.
Queen, Brantley.
Oh, I hope so. I know a few who are fantastic, but
What,
yeah,
drag
I like
performers?
yeah, just doing some lip sync concert or contest. But yeah, I zipped up my jacket all the way up to the neck, tried to look as Mormon as I could while I fixed the directions on my phone.
Yeah. Yeah.
The nephew of a friend of mine was a drag performer for quite a while. He doesn't do it anymore, but he had something of a name for himself around here for a while. It's like, hey, great, you know.
My friend Corey, that's what he's doing now for work.
Oh, fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, he is actually traveling with Freak Show. No, they're not freaks. A couple of them are pretty freaky, but they're not freaks. Yeah, he's going all across the western states, going to different venues and making money and tips, and it's pretty cool. I commend him for it.
That's got to be some good stuff. I mean, if you can make some change out of it.
Yeah.
Get money.
And I mean, North Idaho and Spokane isn't really that suppressed.
Yeah.
Maybe it is. It's pretty suppressed.
No, I wonder, knowing somebody who used to be from not Spokane, but the difference in climate between and the difference in social climate between Spokane and Seattle.
Hmm.
I feel like it'd be interesting to know the difference in social climate between anywhere in Seattle.
Okay, here's a difference. Here is a pretty big difference in social climate compared to Coeur d'Alene and Spokane. Spokane, I don't know the actual figures, but if you just walk around downtown Spokane or you're just in Spokane in general, you'll probably see 1 out of 20 people is a different ethnicity. And then you go to Idaho, you won't find a single black person.
Yeah, that's like what it's here in Maine. Like,
unless you're looking. I mean, you really have to look though.
And well, I have been so lucky, and I'm saying lucky, to have lived in predominantly black areas for about half of my life. And it's great to be in an area where it is not the case that everybody looks like you, or everybody does the same things that you do. I am so happy about that.
I think we could use a few more atheists in my area. That would probably help.
Yeah,
I went on Holy Kool-Aid's Holy Kool-Aid's Find Other Skeptical People or whatever website.
Oh, he's a sweetie.
There is a group that meets in Spokane, but they meet like once every 2 months at a bar. And it's like, I don't like being at a bar because I've been sober for almost 3 years and just
congratulations.
I don't know.
Well, yay.
I don't know. It's kind of an excuse though, because I just went to a drag show at a bar. So it's like, I can be at a bar and not drink. I don't know. I'm just afraid there's just going to be a whole bunch of like, they'll just be drinking and then I'm just going to be you kind of just get left out being the only sober one in the room.
I don't know. I never liked bars that much. It just somehow wasn't my thing. I don't know how that worked. And I was a college kid in the 70s, so don't ask me how I didn't like bars, okay?
I'm waiting because I'm moving to Pakistan in a couple months. So legally I'll be able to drink there. But there won't be any bars. So that'll be interesting. People just drink alone.
Okay, I don't know, man. I don't know if that would be any fun or not, because the fun about drinking, or at least as far as I saw it was something you did while you were in the group, that sort of thing.
Yeah, I'll have to corrupt some Muslims over there.
That's not true though, because I could down a bottle and a 15 pack of beer by myself just fine and be just perfectly content with that a few years ago. So I mean,
Okay,
drinking
yeah,
for
but
me was fun, even if I was the only one.
You know what I find insane? In Pakistan, um, alcohol is illegal for Muslims, right? If you're not a Muslim, you get a little card or whatever, you can purchase alcohol. But opium, totally fine. You can just buy opium, whatever.
jeez, man.
Yeah, it's. Although if you go on
Wait,
to
watch
the
it, wow.
official Pakistani government website and then translate the page, they have a little pop-up that basically translates to drugs and alcohol make you weak and your family shameful. It's
Now, here's something that I just thought of when you mentioned the little card. How does the authority or whatever in Pakistan determine whether or not you really are Muslim or not? I mean, is there some sort of
there is what you do is you go to the government and you get some papers, and then you go to an imam, and I assume they run some kind of test, ask you some questions, try to convert you, and then they sign off on that, and then you have to go back to the government to get it signed again, um, and then you're officially registered as a non-Muslim.
okay then?
Yeah.
And if it turns out that you were lying, then they chop your head off or something, right?
Who knows? They have some pretty extreme punishments over there. It's insane.
Yeah, I mean, please excuse me for the thought that entered my head when you had said this. You had said that you were moving to Pakistan soon, and the first thing that came into my mind was why?
Well, I'm half Pakistani.
Yeah, you had mentioned that.
Yeah. My father lives there. So partially to get to know the other half of my family, and partially because he's going to pay for my college.
Okay. Those are some good reasons. Okay, for whatever reason I thought that you were going by yourself,
Oh, no.
and I'm thinking that you are atheist now, right?
Yes.
I want to make sure. Yeah, that's what I thought. I wanted to make sure, and I'm thinking atheists aren't very welcome over there, and a few other things, and it's like, okay, you're walking into a nest of bees.
Yeah, it's I like to live on the edge.
I believe that's a hive.
Yeah, I mean, it would sort of be like me moving to Hamtramck or something, you know.
Yeah, it's it'll be interesting. They do have blasphemy laws there, so
Yeah,
I have to be a little careful what I say. Use
tread
it
lightly.
whenever I'm on the internet.
Out of curiosity, how long you plan on staying?
Well, for about 4 years. I'm gonna come back here to the U.S. For a couple of weeks each summer. But,
Okay.
mostly 4 years.
I'll stop using these.
Well, the best of luck to you. Seriously.
Yeah, it's
I don't know that I would have the constitution for it, but
yeah. Well, luckily I'm not outwardly anything that they would find offensive there. I am bisexual, but that's
it's not like you're wearing a badge saying, "Hey,
Yeah.
I'm bi."
exactly.
Yeah.
Although I might get a little atheist symbol pin. Wear it on the lapel.
There you go.
Landon's talking about how he also drinks like that, how I was drinking, and he said that he can down 1.5 liters of red wine. What the fuck is a 1.5 liter? Ounces,
Canadian.
man. Ounces.
Well,
Jesus
let's see.
Christ.
A liter is just over a quart.
I believe it's 32 ounces. Is it a liter?
A little bit more than 32 ounces. Yeah. I don't know if it's 33 ounces or if it's 32 point something.
Mm-hmm.
What is it? Oh, I know a way to find out. I happen to
That's
have
a
a
lot
bottle
of
of iced
alcohol,
tea
Landon.
over here. Okay, this is a 1 liter bottle of iced tea, which is 1.05 quarts. So it's almost exactly a quart.
Well, I mean, we
So
can't see you. Your camera's off.
who? One where?
Your camera's off. We can't see you.
Me?
Uh,
Yeah. Yeah. I
Oh, talking to yourself about the.
I'm not exactly pretty here, but well, I mean, I'm not horrible or anything. I just
all
don't
I
have.
had time, all I had time to do is shave my neck beard, and I cut myself.
I mean, at least you can grow a beard.
And I'm not the one going to Pakistan.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I still do, and it's one of the things that drives me nuts is the necessity to scrape my face. Not on a daily basis anymore, but enough to be annoying. Yeah, electrolysis is expensive,
Hmm.
but yeah, that liter and a half of wine, so that's like drinking 3 pints of wine. Um, I couldn't do it simply because it's too much fluid, kind of fills me up, you know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't, because I'm a minor, and if any cops are watching, I don't drink at all.
I remember those days. I could mix a damn good martini when I was 13.
So your dad had a problem, did he?
Who, me?
Yeah, I was joking though.
No,
If you
he
know-
had
if you
he
knew
had
how to-
plenty of problems, I'll tell you.
if
He
you
and
knew how to mix a martini at 13, that's normally the cause.
Yeah, there you go. I'm not sure if he was an alcoholic or not. He might have been, but not the alcoholic that was constantly drunk.
So like a functioning alcoholic.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, when I was talking to several therapists, I've been in therapy most of my life. I wonder why. Yeah, they would. Gee, was your father an alcoholic? And every one of them, and it's like, maybe. Um, and being around alcohol all the time. I mean, he sold the stuff for a living. I guess he might have had his opportunity, but no, there were a lot of reasons I didn't like him. World's a better place without him.
Well, that's. Wow.
I've met few people like that, but I know what you mean.
Yeah, I've met a couple like that. They're not great people.
Yeah, I found out that he and his wife had died a couple of years after it happened.
Did you go and dance a jig on his grave?
I wanted to. Damn it. I was all pissed. Well, the entire family dropped me when I came out. And this was unfortunate because I wanted to deliver the eulogy. At the funeral, basically, look at that casket over in the center aisle. Think of the person inside. Do you really want to be like him? And enumerate his sins one after another.
That might have, from what you've told us, that might have been quite a long eulogy.
Oh, push you, moi. I don't know. Listen to me, the atheist, saying, "Oh my God."
Yeah. I mean, I do it too. It's. I use it like any other sentence enhancer.
Yeah. Oh, my babka would always say that. Oh, bože moi. In Slovak and in Russian, bože moi is my God. It's just spelled a little differently in each of the languages. In Russian, it looks more like Klingon.
I have to say you picked the absolute best time to stream. There's nobody else streaming right now.
Yeah.
Nobody look. I already looked. No one else is streaming at all. So this is a perfect time. You don't even have to pull it up.
Yeah.
Oh my.
Subscriptions. Yep. Don't pull up anything.
Well, let's see now. Wonder Lady started streaming 22 minutes ago. I don't know if Faye is still going or not.
Oof. Yeah. like I couldn't think of like a time that people weren't streaming. Like I know in a little bit.
Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
Don't worry. It is so difficult to find a time like that because there are so many of us now.
Oh yeah.
I mean, 10 years ago, it would have been easy
Just any
because there were
point in
so
the day.
few. Yeah. But
10 years
anymore,
ago, I would have had dial-up.
pretty much.
10
Let
years
me think now.
ago, I was in elementary school. So
10 years ago, well, my ex and I were still together 10 years ago. Barely, but we were still together. And we had DSL.
Mm. Big
Um,
DSLs?
Say again, please.
Big DSLs?
Big DSLs?
what?
It's shorthand. Never mind. Never
Oh,
mind.
No one knows your technical
Is it
jargon,
speaking?
Brantley.
Is it speaking of a fat pipe? Of a
No,
high
it's
rate?
dick sucking lips.
Oh. Okay. Yeah, that's that. No wonder I didn't get it. Okay.
Yeah.
Rant.
4chan.
4chan's pretty great. Let's be honest there.
I've actually never been on.
I've never
4chan.
been in there.
Yeah. I mean, neither have I, but you see things on the internet. And most of the best ones come from 4chan. Yeah.
So did you hear about this mass migration from Tumblr of all of these people who are self-proclaimed I think of what they're called. They're
Porn bloggers?
no, not just no, it's people who are
Special snowflakes.
God, we got enough
I
of
think
those.
it's Mads. I think it's Mads. Minor attracted
Minor attracted persons. Is it
person
maps?
map. Yeah, maps.
Oh,
Thousands of them are coming over to Twitter from Tumblr because
Ew.
Tumblr kicked them out and shut them down.
Yeah, good.
I just watched a shoe on head video explaining this whole thing and how it's not sexuality. It's not acceptable. It's
No.
I could imagine that June had her own take on that.
Oh, she did. She was very vocal.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah, that's June.
Yeah, like if someone is into that kind of thing, I'm not going to immediately say they're a bad person. As long as they're not looking at that stuff on the internet, as long as they're not doing that stuff, I assume it's something they can't control. So, I won't judge them for
get them into counseling immediately.
Yeah.
I did a show on that a few months ago. As a matter of fact, Kate was on that show with. I had Kate on that show with me, Bionic Dance. Trying to remember if we had anybody else, but we Ken Ham had picked up a TED Talk where there was I think she was a psychologist talking about the minor attracted folks, and was saying that brace yourselves for this. Well, okay, get ready for this. I can see both sides of the coin. Okay, but she's saying that they're getting a bad rap because anytime they mention anything about being attracted to kids, even to a therapist, they get shown the door. So even if they are looking for help, with, look, I know I'm like this. I don't like it. I don't want it. Please help me. Very often they'll get kicked out of the office or anything like that. And I can imagine that would be rather difficult.
Yeah.
That sucks.
Yeah, I'd definitely say that. You know what? Maybe that should be like like some kind of movement people start. Connecting those people with psychologists that won't immediately throw them out.
Yeah, I mean, I can see that. Okay,
that'd be good.
Yes, I mean, if you don't want, if they'll excuse the language, if you don't want to fuck kids, but you're driven that way, and you're trying to figure out a way to not do it, therapy's a good start.
Oh yeah.
Seriously.
Yeah. Just in general, therapy's a good idea.
I've been through therapy enough myself.
Yeah,
I've been in therapy it's in and out of therapy my whole life.
I have
Mhm.
not. I've been pretty lucky and not really needed that kind of help. So who
And you
knows?
are lucky.
20 years or something like that.
I've
Hopefully,
been in therapy since maybe high school, which was 45 years ago. I'm 61 years of age, so
a day over 40.
Well,
thank
you're
you.
lucky they didn't lobotomize you way back then.
Oh yes, you are correct. Definitely.
They almost lobotomized my grandmother back in the 60s because she was bipolar.
Okay.
Came very close, apparently.
I had an aunt who got the shock treatments because she was having problems, and that really screwed her up.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And unfortunately, when my dad was 15, she put a bullet through her head.
Oh,
Oh my.
that's unfortunate.
Yep, it does suck.
Yeah.
But we know the gun works and we still have it.
Okay.
I'm a positive guy.
I mean, family heirloom, I guess.
It's been tested.
Oh man.
Yeah. So, I know we've talked about essential oils. We've talked about, hard hitting life stuff.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I was wondering
Healing
if the 7 people in chat, ooh, I'm rolling in viewers. If they have anything that they'd, if they have anything they'd like us 3, paragons of discussion to discuss,
I like what Landon had to say here. I don't know how long ago he said this because I wasn't looking at the chat. He said, must be the German blood in me. I get drunk on weekends and not always every weekend. I have this thing. I have a drinking problem. There's booze all over the house and I forget to drink it. That's a problem.
It is a problem. It's called hoarding.
When I started movie night in July, from July to now, I've drunk more alcohol than I had in the previous 10 years.
See,
I'm not kidding.
Do you have a liver donor lined up?
I can't make it through a whole movie night. I might be able to if I was actually on, because a lot of times they're talking about things that I actually have some, I wouldn't say expertise, knowledge in, and it's frustrating because I just want to be like, no, you have it wrong.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't be drinking, so it wouldn't be fair.
Oh, on movie night, I've taken lately to drinking coffee. It's I definitely never took a drink every time there was a drink call. Because God, I would have been my liver would have just fallen out. Okay.
So healing crystals.
Yeah.
Oh.
Ooh.
Are they the cure for everything, or are they the cure for most things?
I mean, I must say, if you have someone who believes in that, and they have, you know, they get some terrible disease, they're definitely the cure to not have those people in the world.
Oh yeah,
Mm.
yeah, that's evolution.
Yeah.
Man, you talk about the healing crystals. Have either of you guys run into Spirit Science on YouTube?
Oh yeah.
They're I'm subbed.
Hey,
I
Jews are
donate to
from
their
space.
Patreon.
Yes.
Space Jews.
That's how I discovered Marty.
Have either of you watched Moon Nazis?
What?
The movie Moon Nazis?
Holy
Sounds interesting.
shit.
I think it's either on Netflix or Amazon. You'd have to look it up, but it's a really great movie. It's about how Nazis established a colony on the backside of the moon during World War II.
I want to watch that now.
Was this Jordan or was this somebody else?
This this was a comedy.
Oh, okay.
So luckily it's a comedy. Luckily, because if
Okay,
not, I wouldn't have recommended it.
so it's not Jordan because he takes that shit seriously.
Yeah, yeah.
Jordan,
I swear,
who?
I
I'm
don't know if there's anything in the world he doesn't buy.
So I have no clue who Jordan is.
Jordan is the person behind Spirit Science.
Oh, that guy. Okay.
Jordan, whatever his name is this week, it was Jordan Dubnitz for a while, and then Jordan something, I forget, and then Jordan Pierce.
But does he change his name a lot? Like that's yeah.
Only 3 or 4 times that I know of.
Okay.
And that's in the oh God, how long have I known about him? 6 years or something like that.
Yeah, I remember a while back I watched a bunch of his videos, and then I saw like a bunch of people responding to him, and it just got too mainstream, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but
I really liked Cool Hard Object. His
Mhm.
responses.
yeah, they're just spirit science is special, very special. I think eventually, if I can figure out how Streamlabs works, I think I might want to have like live streaming responses to some of that kind of stuff. You know, get a couple people on, watch it, and then die laughing.
The kind of stuff that Psy does, Psy Strike,
Oh,
as
okay.
a movie night sort of thing. Yeah, because
Oh.
we watch the film and we're responding to it as we watch it.
Okay.
I
And
invited you to
yeah,
one of
stuff like that.
those.
Yeah, I unfortunately was a bit busy at the time. Wasn't able to catch it. I will.
I
next
don't
time.
know how. They go for like 6 to 8 hours. You got to have been
Uh-huh.
at some point.
I
Well,
don't
yeah.
think I've ever been in an 8-hour long, but I've been in a 7-hour.
The only 8-hour stream I've been in was one of Steve McCree, one of his streams.
Oh Lord.
It lasted 8 hours because Steve left. So it was just me, the other Landon, and 2 other guys.
Oh,
I
Landon,
forget
you
their
want to
names.
jump in? Yeah, it's never too late, bro. I will send you a link to that.
So this is only my second 8-hour stream I've been in.
I've been in quite a few. Months ago, if either of you guys know about Another Freaking Atheist, Don Michaud.
I barely know people on here, but
He used to do interviews with people, and then after shows, after the interviews, which would routinely run 8 hours, and I was in more of those than I care to count. And there was the one day when he lost his mind and ran 3 of them back to back. So we were doing a live stream for 24 hours. And I remember the first one was like so-and-so after show. And the second one was what is wrong with me? And the third one was something else, I forget, but it was equally crazy. I kind of miss those. I really do.
yeah, I don't think I'll be doing 8-hour streams anytime soon.
The only 24-hour stream I watched, I don't even know, was a full 24 hours. It was Hugo and Jake fundraiser for cancer kids because of all the awful cancer kid jokes we've made.
Okay.
Yeah.
And that lasted, well, at least 8 hours. I think they started up again. They raised over like $20,000 for St. James.
That's really
Cool.
nice.
Nice.
So Landon should be jumping in here any minute. I sent him the link over the Facebook messaging, that group chat we're all in.
I've done a couple of them. I wasn't part of them, but I was watching them. Dev Shell 2. Lovely guy by the name of Rob Slockbauer. Used to do 24-hour live streams to raise money for the AIDS vaccine initiative. And unfortunately, he got too busy and stuff to do that anymore, and it's not been around for a couple of years. And I don't know, maybe one of these days I'm going to have to look into picking that back up again, because it's a damn good cause.
It is.
Yeah, it is.
Hey there.
Hey, Landon.
Proceed.
Hey, Tweety.
Hello. Hello, hello.
Little bit this, little bit that. Go for me, go for you, eh? What am I talking about?
All the cool stuff that you were talking about, I kind of missed out on.
Oh, you had to put on your YouTube T-shirt. I see.
How do you know? Forgotten Weapons, one of the best YouTube channels
I watched
on firearm history.
Yeah.
I don't think I know that one.
Yeah, it's pretty interesting.
Yeah, he went over 1 million subs.
Wow.
Just got over 1 million subs.
Oh, if you guys put your links to your channels in the side chat here on the Google Hangouts, I'll toss those in the description real quick.
Okay, I'm not able to because I don't have a wrench.
Oh, no, I mean in the Hangouts chat. That should be open for most people.
Unless you're on your phone.
Oh,
Yeah, in the side chat here, you're talking about. Last I knew, you were not able to. I could try. Last I knew, you were not able to post if you didn't have post a link if you didn't have a wrench.
I'll throw a wrench at you.
Let me look. See.
Yeah.
Where? Here we go. You have to find me. There I am.
You know, if
So what
you
were you just talking about when I jumped in?
What were we talking about?
I think it was we were talking about live streams and stuff like that. But I do have a question. I don't know if I asked Lavender Lady, you and Landon, you probably heard it at the beginning of the stream, but did you guys
look at that! They've changed. They've changed something. Because I actually posted the link without a wrench.
Let me see.
No, it doesn't show up on. It only shows up on your end.
All right, I will toss you a. Yeah, I'll toss you a wrench real quick.
If you go into the YouTube studio, you can actually change it so everyone can post a link.
Oh, okay. I don't know how to do that.
Yeah, I've been playing around with it today.
All right, so I'll just real quick throw a wrench at you. You know,
Brantley gets a real wrench.
Dodge a ball.
Yeah, I have 2 wrenches.
Yeah, you're double wrenched.
Do you have an imperial and a metric wrench?
No, that's what I've got from working on my bicycle. I tell you, it's weird. I have both, strangely enough, imperial and metric bolts on my bike. How the hell did that work out?
Son of a bitch. That is
part of it was manufactured in Europe.
Maybe.
Son of
You
a
mean
bitch.
they actually sell metric wrenches in the U.S.?
Believe it or not.
Everywhere.
You can buy
everywhere.
anything in the U.S.
Yeah. My Jeep, it was so weird. My old Jeep that I used to have, all of the exterior components were standard. All the interior components were metric because the interior was assembled in Mexico and the exterior was assembled in, I believe, North America somewhere. No, it wasn't Mexico. It was Canada. The interior was Canada and the exterior. You
so,
get what I'm
Lavender
saying.
Lady, I threw a wrench at you. You should be able to post a link in chat.
Oh,
now.
I am thanking you extremely many much. Okay, let's do that again.
Actually, on that topic, I think wasn't it the U.S. was going to switch over to the metric in the 70s, weren't they?
We did.
Yeah, but
Yes.
then
Then one of
No, we still are. We're metric.
There is a section of I-19 between Tucson and Nogales, which is laid out only in kilometers, and I think it's the only continuous highway in the U.S. that's laid out that way. There are some that are laid out in both, but this one is the only one strictly in metric and strictly in SI units. And that was that way when I was out in that neighborhood, and that was 35 years ago.
We are officially metric. Officially. Unofficially, everywhere is imperial.
Yeah.
Huh.
It's so
Okay, because
stupid.
in the 80s, I know in the 80s, like I used to work in some mechanic shops, and the vehicles from the 80s had a mix of both, because apparently, because the US was supposed to switch over, but they never did officially. So in the 80s there'd be like metric and standard, and then they kind of eventually just went back to standard. It depends where it was manufactured.
My bicycle is a Schwinn, and almost everything is metric, but the nuts that hold the rear hub onto the rear fork are SAE. And it's like I had to buy a set of SAE wrenches just to work with my back wheel. It was like, shit, man.
Yeah, we call, yeah, I've been saying imperial, but yeah, we call it standard up here in Canada for like the
Okay.
US.
So I have two questions, Landon. What are you drinking, and how much did it cost?
This I like these half-liter cans you buy from the gas stations. I don't know, like this one's like a Clamato Caesar.
All right.
Yeah, and this one here, I'm like, okay, and then that one there.
2 beers.
Well, this one here is a beer from Germany, I think.
Ooh, German beer.
This is like a Festbock. It's a Bock beer.
Are you drinking it
7%.
warm?
I
Oh,
wish
it's
I could
cold.
get some. I wish I could get some decent beers around here. In Pittsburgh, all they know is IC Light. It's like,
Yeah, I call those like those big name beers are all like piss colored.
yes, I refer to the stuff as like warmed over cat piss.
This one ain't too much different, but
Yeah, Monty Python had a joke that American beer was like fucking in a canoe, or having sex in a canoe, because it's fucking close to water.
It's actually I do not like to drink like a Budweiser in a glass because it's almost clear. It's lighter than this. This is golden yellow. And like a Budweiser would be like almost like a clear yellow, like a way lighter shade.
Oh.
It's not appealing.
Okay, I have a story, if that's okay.
Yes, dear.
Please.
If you are okay with stories, it isn't a atheist story, but it is a story about a canoe. When my ex-wife and I were dating, we were probably about 16. We went fishing in my dad's canoe, and we wound up paddling up this not reservoir, it was a little brook that ran into the lake. There's all lily pads and stuff. It was really secluded, so we just tied to the reeds. We started going at it in this canoe. Both half naked, basically. I mean, my ass was showing for sure. And we get done, and we both kind of get back together, and we had come untied and drifted under this bridge with cars passing over the top. And this little bridge, I mean, it was probably this high. I mean, 5 foot off the water. Just
no.
So
someone had a show.
Oh yeah, a few people. At least they went, oh, yep, know what they're doing. They're fishing pretty hard.
I thought I was the only one that had sex in a boat. And we got sunburned, and the boat motor wouldn't start. We were in the middle of a lake. Paddle back.
That's really fun, especially if that was like your 3rd or 4th date. You can be like, yeah, there's just how it is.
This is NSFW.
Yeah, so I'm interested in hearing. Did anyone watch Non Sequitur last night?
I did not.
I did.
Oh, yeah, I did. Yeah.
Yeah. So
you watched the after show?
I was on the after show.
Oh,
yeah,
I see.
that's
I
where.
fell
Yeah,
asleep.
I recognize you from the after show. Yeah.
Yeah. I did mention my stream on there, but I forgot to give my channel name. So
Yeah, because I thought you were Mikhail, and then your name is Atheist Joke Boy, or what
yeah,
is it?
it was, but
Yeah.
Brantley and I thought I needed a more
Official.
searchable name. Yeah, because I looked up Mikhail Malik on Facebook on YouTube, and like 5 people's channels came up. So
It's
yeah, all of them were Muslim. So
I'm pretty sure no one has my name,
Landon?
and I'm glad no one's tried to pronounce my last name yet.
Oh, I always thought you were just into anime.
okay.
yeah,
Okay. I'm gonna take a guess
Someone
at
knows
this
how to
one.
say my last name. No, I am not a weeb. I had to Google that.
Vibe.
I'm not a weeb. I'm not a wannabe Asian person.
Now, would it be Vibe?
Well, yeah, and in the Dutch, which is where that name comes from, is Dutch.
Oh, I was looking
That's
at
my
it.
dad.
I was seeing German, but that's close enough. Okay.
Well, no, I most of my genealogy is German. My dad only has a little bit of the Dutch influence.
Okay.
So how do you pronounce your last name?
Weeb, weeb, just like I had to Google it because there's folks on comment sections that are calling each other weebs. Oh, you weeb, WEEB.
Uh-huh.
And
What
then
the
I had
hell is
to
that?
Google it. Well, what the hell is weeb? And then it's like some, like a wannabe Asian person or something. What the hell?
Yeah, no.
I
They're-
really, really thought that you did that intentionally. I didn't think that was your last name. I don't know how to spell weeb,
Well,
the other kind.
you should hear the telemarketers and bankers that call me. They're like, "We IB."
Oh man.
They try and spell "We IB."
I know so little
definitely better
about.
than, like what I get. I usually get like McKeel or McKell, Moloch, which is so.
Oh, it's
Yeah,
a
I
bad.
Well, is that a
know-
Palestinian? Is that
It
is
is
like
it's Arabic,
Michael?
yeah.
Is that would be what it is?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, first time around at uni, a friend of mine when I first met him, I knew that his name was spelled Boenning. So I opened my mouth, Herr Burning, wie geht's? And he looks at, oh my God, somebody knows how to pronounce my name. Because I guess the way he described it, he
That's
would get,
German.
yeah, he would get
Wie
Bunning,
geht's? Wie
Bowenning.
geht's?
Yep, how are you? And
I know-
Auf Wiedersehen. Goodbye.
Yep.
Good day.
And Schweinhund, something you don't want to call anybody.
Schweinhund. Okay. I don't know, but just because I know Schwein is pig and Hund is dog.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
pig
it's
dog.
one of those.
What?
One of those things that has no literal translation. I mean, literally, it's pig dog, but
Yeah.
idiomatically, it's something you just don't want to call anybody because it's a horrible insult.
Yeah. And but when you think of it in English, it's like
Dog.
big dog.
Yeah, my sister
'Cause
and
my
I
mom.
used
Oh,
to
sorry.
have a lot of fun going back and forth. You pig dog, you pig, because we both spoke German.
See, my mom used to tell me this story how, like my opa, he was 6'7", and my mom was being a naughty girl and she's little and she was calling my opa an Uffengruppen. But and I tried to find the translation on Google Translate and it just doesn't work out the way she explained. She said it meant monkey skeleton, which is actually kind of funny because my opa was 6'7", tall, lanky fellow, skinny guy. So yeah, monkey skeleton. That'd be kind of a funny thing to call your opa, like monkey skeleton, because he would chase her across the yard to try and spank her for calling him names.
So it's got to be idiomatic in some way then. Yeah.
Yeah, because Offengruppen doesn't. I try and find it on Google Translate and I just get garbled mess. That doesn't make sense. But
And then, of course, there are the various usages of a word. One of my German teachers in high school told the story where he was stationed in Germany in the 50s, and he would go to one pub or a bar or whatever to go drinking with some of his friends, and there was somebody there who was a new person to the group. Everybody was getting introduced around, and Bart wanted to refer to the guy that originally got him into the group as a friend. So he said, "Yeah, ich hab ihn gern," which in schoolbook German means "I like him." But at that bar in that neighborhood, every head turned, and oops, I did something wrong. And it turned out that in the local dialect, "Ich hab ihn gern" meant I have a romantic attachment to him. So, oops. So that was
some random guy in the bar is like, "Prost."
so that was Bart's warning to us to always consider dialect.
Yeah.
I know
man.
so little about my own heritage that growing up, my family told me, well, our last name is LaFrenz, and so we must be French.
Not
There's that
necessarily.
LA. No, I looked it up. It's totally German. It's a totally German name. Yeah, completely. Like it never touched foot in France.
Brant, why are you wearing a hat?
Well, wait a minute. Was it in one of
Well,
the?
there's that border. Like
I was going
in
to say,
Europe,
yeah.
borders.
I mean,
In Europe,
would the
like the
name
French, like
originally
there's
have come?
Cologne.
Oh, where you
Cologne,
have
Germany.
Cologne and
When you think of
Köln.
Cologne, French word, right? Cologne. But obviously, those borders changed hands many times in the past 1,000, 2,000 years, right?
Yeah.
I like to refer to it as which country are we in this week?
Yeah,
That
that's a
was
real thing for
Europe.
like Alsace, and they got switched around all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Well,
Europe
the
has been
name-
relatively stable over the last century, but Russia is pushing the boundaries, invading Ukraine.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I really don't appreciate Russians very much. I mean, they make good hats.
I know
I
a
like
lot
the
of
language.
I'm kidding,
Russians,
I'm
and
kidding.
there's a lot of good Russian people.
Of course, there's
But
so
it's
many
the
Russian
government.
people. Yeah, it's
Just like so many people hate the states, but it's not the people. The people are trying to elect more, trying to elect better politicians, but they keep getting lied to.
yeah. You want to talk about poor governments? The Pakistani government, absolutely, it is self-defined as a theocratic republic. To be the president of Pakistan, you have to be a Muslim.
Oh, great.
Yeah, it's
That almost reminds
Going
me.
back,
What is the nation in the Middle East that is an enforced? I don't even know the word for it, but the president must be of a certain ethnicity, and the vice president must be of a certain different ethnicity, and this you have a quota system basically. And I forget which country it is on the. It's on the Mediterranean, I know that much, but a few countries are.
I don't know.
a quota.
That's interesting.
Sounds like our police. Got to get those tickets.
Yeah.
But going back, Pakistan, that's a very. There's a few places that could spark off a nuclear war. Is Pakistan and India,
Yeah.
and you want to live back there.
Yeah, it's not the safest of places.
It's a deterrent.
Yeah, but
it's a deterrent.
Yeah, I don't think after what we've had like 6 wars between the two countries, I don't think anything's gonna happen anymore unless China instigates it.
That's what like North Korea. The only reason why they're making nuclear weapons isn't to just
Yeah.
do a full-out offensive war on the U.S., that'd be stupid. They want to survive, right? It's only
Yeah.
a deterrent.
Yeah.
So
That's why they'll never give up their weapons.
I have on my channel a playlist of Squirrel and Badger. It's really an entertaining show if you like Asian shows. If you guys have ever even
Once
heard of
again,
Squirrel and Badger, it's a North Korean propaganda
No.
cartoon for children.
Oh, okay.
It's
That sounds like it'd be fun. You know,
it is fun.
all
It's really
praise the
fun.
all praise Supreme Leader.
Basically,
they're
looking-
actually.
trying to
I
find it.
I read something the other day about North Koreans becoming more technological. They have smartphones, but they only have their websites they can go to
Yeah.
in the country, and they're heavily monitored.
That I can imagine. I mean, I was over here and being a nasty person and thinking, what, do they have electric lights yet? But
I mean, that's a real thing. Like,
yeah, it's amazing when you look at the Earth by Night
mhm.
and you look at that
South
neighborhood.
Korea.
It's completely dark, and South Korea has actual light.
Yeah.
And you know what's interesting about that? East Germany still hasn't, well, what was East Germany still hasn't caught up either. They have an older lighting system because they're just economically further behind than what was the West Germans.
Okay.
If you look at Germany at night, what was East Germany still has like a yellowish night city lighting, and then the West Germany is like the brighter white kind of LED lighting in the night satellite photos
Wow.
because they just haven't caught up.
So it sounds like what once was East Germany still has the sodium vapor.
They're still struggling to keep up with what was, I guess,
Yeah,
struggling
just
now.
goes to show what, just a relatively short amount of time of economic strife can do to a place. Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of, and East German, well, what was East Germany once again is still heavily reliant on coal-fired electric plants, I think.
And West Germany is firing up their not tokamak, but fusion reactor. They're doing experiments with fusion reactors while East Germany is burning coal. That's cool.
Yeah. Fusion reactors, every 10 years, they say they're about 10 years away.
2025, man.
Come on, man. Yeah.
2025. Mark my word.
Year 2525, when fusion reactors are finally around. Now, there was a song I remember from 1965 in not
and
65,
Mars
69.
and the moon, everything gets just pushed down, kicked down. You know what
I'm
they say? It's a shitty time to be alive because there's so many good things happening, but it's like, am I gonna be alive when that actually happens?
Yeah.
I'm almost hoping I'm not.
I'm throwing a link up in the chat right now to.
Well, I'm looking at a satellite image of Berlin, and my oh my, as you were describing, the contrast is stark.
Still to this day, though, like this is recent.
I'm gonna look for the date on the image. Okay, this is a photo that Chris Hadfield took. From
that's
the
fairly
ISS.
recent.
So,
Canadian
you've got
astronaut.
Yep. He's a really nice guy too. I've had the opportunity to speak with him. He's a big sweetie.
That's cool.
I'm a member of a Facebook group called Space Hipsters. And we've got everybody in there. I mean, the engineers, the astronauts, immediate families, that sort of thing. And amazing the people you meet and the stories you hear.
Well, he's probably the only one who's recorded a music video in space.
I think so.
That was pretty neat.
What are you looking at there, Brantley?
This right here is their latest attempt at nuclear fusion. It will not produce power, but it is a tokamak that I think I know it's several nations. China is actually their biggest investor. We are one of their up right here, 2525 first plasma.
Hmm.
And China is their biggest investor. We're near the bottom. Imagine that.
Yeah,
That
China,
is
China would
a
be investing
fact.
thoroughly.
China is the big. Well, I won't. I'll just say China is one of the biggest polluters, but they're also one of the biggest investors in green energy.
Yeah, China. They recently got rid of a lot of like coal-powered and oil-powered equipment and stuff like that. But and they were getting praised somewhat recently for that, for moving closer to green energy. They just sent it to Pakistan, and started working that stuff there.
Yeah, here's the photo that Chris shot of Berlin.
Yep, there it
Wow.
is.
Yep, it's amazing the difference. Because
Yeah,
I see sodium vapor on the east side, and I see LED on the left.
Yeah,
that is.
yeah. That's probably when I seen that photo. Actually, was when Chris he made that whole book full of pictures of the Earth at night or something.
Okay.
That
Yeah,
that's
and it's amazing still to this day. Like in the 2010s, that would have been right.
yeah. You think
That
in one
sounds about
city
right.
they would have updated in like one city.
Yeah.
Let's see what the the timeline. This appeared in the Telegraph, 18 April 2013. So the photograph was published in the Telegraph 5 years ago, almost 6.
Well,
And
And the wall fell in Germany when in '89.
that sounds right.
That's all. They're still trying to catch up.
oh. Yeah. So Landon, you jumped on way after we talked about this, but what are your thoughts on essential oils?
Oh yeah, but by the way, that's why I said I should have jumped in earlier because I was like talking to myself in chat. I,
Yeah.
when I was in high school, I used to smoke weed, but then I quit probably like over 10 years ago because I started getting like panic attacks and paranoid from it.
Oops.
And I think that's mostly just a consequence of the grower is just making higher and higher THC, which is complete. And only I recently learned that a lot high has to do with the terpenes found in cannabis, which are essential oils, and they actually modulate the high. So a bud that has a lot of limonene in it will be a happy, uplifted, energetic buzz. Bud that has a lot of linalool in it, which is lavender, found in lavender, is anti-anxiety,
Hi there.
anti-depression. Yeah, lavender. And then a bud that has beta caryophyllene, which is found in black pepper, is also it'll be a type of grass that isn't anxiety inducing. And actually, if you have a bad trip and you take some pepper and you sniff it, it'll immediately bring you out of a bad trip. And I've tried it
Yeah.
That
based
would have
on
been
the
nice to know in
terpenes.
the past.
Yeah. See, it's things like that
Somehow they work.
yeah, that's one
How?
of those things that's like normally I'm just against essential oils and people using them to cure things or do stuff. But then I hear things like that. I think you're a pretty trustworthy source. So and then it's things like that. Like, yeah, these things do something, but it's
I
just those
I
people.
think I think what it is, I think some of the research, because now it's legal in many states and in my country, so now research is blown wide open. So now they can research how these things actually how they modulate each other. And I think what it is a lot of the terpenes can bind to cannabinoid receptors, I think. That's what I've found.
Okay.
So they
Uh,
compete for the cannabinoid receptor over the THC and CBD.
Gotcha.
So your cannabinoid receptors, instead of having too much CBD, these other essential oils will kind of lock onto them, just like CBD does, and it
Someone did think that one.
outcompetes the THC.
Yeah, I'm wishing
I'm
things
not
would
an,
get a little. I'm wishing things would get a little better over here because my understanding, and please correct me if I'm wrong here, is that it's still difficult to research with grass-related things because it's still federally illegal.
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
So Terry Davies is saying that the link that I put in that group chat isn't working through Google. But yeah, if you want to jump on, I'll like PM you on or DM you on Twitter.
Make sure Terry's using Chrome.
Yeah, are you using Chrome? I don't
Well,
know why anyone would use anything other than Chrome.
well, I have to use Chrome in order to use Google Hangouts. It will not work on Firefox for me.
No, it won't for me either. I always have to open up Chrome and then I get like 1,000 notifications and have to exit out all the notifications.
Oh yeah, that drives me nuts.
Um,
Because I'm subscribed to about 300 YouTube channels, so every time I bring it could be like 2 hours that I don't have Chrome running, and I'll come back in and I've got like 39 notifications. You know, this video, this live stream, this live. It's like
Yeah, you know, I've been trying recently.
Before I, oh,
You know, with because
before I met this community, oh, sorry.
No, it's
Sorry,
fine.
go ahead.
Yeah, you go.
No, I was just on the subscription thing. I know I've mentioned it before in other chats, but she loves to share all these channels, awesome channels in our community, and I subscribe to all of them. But I used to, at a time, I used to have this nice, comfortable level of all my science news channels that I like to follow. You know, I get home from work. Instead of having cable, that's what I do. I turn on my YouTube and follow up on all my subs.
I don't even.
It's getting hard to find. It's getting hard to watch them all after work, and I gotta go to bed.
I
you
don't
watch
even know.
Cow Floater Mouse at all, Landon?
Oh
Talking about
wow!
Tail
channels.
Flater
I
Mouse,
know
yeah,
about
that's
Calculator Mouse. Yeah,
yeah. See, a lot of those like that
the
channel,
firearm
I just
channel.
watch the videos when they're in my suggestion. Yeah, I'm not subscribed to him. That's what I'll do most of the time is because I have popped on his channel a few times to watch some interesting videos, and it'll be in my suggestions. So I never just sub to him.
I
Otherwise, I'd
give
have like that
$1.
They've
OCD thing where I gotta like watch all the videos because I'm trying to support everyone.
I remember you saying that.
they have
Yeah.
fired some
But
weird.
I'm not OCD. That's a bad thing to do. Is you know how people say, oh, that guy's schizo. Oh, I'm OCD. Yeah, that it's not good to misrepresent those things. Really.
I do have OCD, and that was half the reason why I was late today was my mic setup wasn't quite correct, so I messed with it and then broke it. And then had to fix it.
That's terrible.
And then I really got into a zone just going through all of my nuts and bolts and stuff because they were unorganized, and I had to pull myself out of it just to fix what needed to be fixed.
Yeah.
So
See, that to me almost sounds like an amphetamine high. Like it seems like if you've ever done any stimulants, it's like you get into this like super focused, driven mode where you like tinkering on stuff and you gotta pull yourself out of it.
It could be related to the 40 milligrams of Adderall I take every day.
Oh well.
Okay.
There you go.
It might be, maybe. That's prescribed.
Yeah.
No, I've just counted. Oh man, it's amazing. I am now subscribed to 367 YouTube channels.
It's a lot.
You counted them?
It's easy to count because over on the left side of my YouTube thing, there's subscriptions, and you have a few of the channels that you're, and then there's 7 of them listed, and then it says show 360 more.
Mine says show 274 more.
Okay.
But how
And
many of those actually produce content, though? Or just a lot of friends that you just.
basically what I do is I subscribe to just about everybody that comes onto my channel as a courtesy. And that sometimes helps. If they aren't already subscribed to me, they might see me subscribe to them and then subscribe to me.
Yeah.
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 I mean, it's a little selfish, if you will, but
Yeah.
you know, not all that
Before
bad.
I had
90.
a YouTube community, I didn't really do that, but now I am doing it. I'm subbing to everyone that's.
And I am looking here. Okay, I'm still hanging in at 221. I lost one last week. I don't know where that person went. Oh well.
Well,
A
I got a
bot.
whole 10 subscribers, and like most of them are in chat.
Okay.
I know because you had 7 and I subbed after
Yeah.
I seen, oh,
Thanks,
this
man.
guy has 7. Okay.
Yeah.
And
It's
then there's my friend the Godless Iowan, who in something less than a year managed to get, I think it's almost, is it 1,300 or 2,300? I've got to look for him.
I think he has like 40 subs. I don't know.
so in this view that I have, I can see this
Oh, here it is. He's almost at 2,500. It's
Wow.
like,
yeah, no, but
But
he's doing something
Surus
right.
also, he said Surus also started around the same time, but Surus is quite a bit higher than GI.
That's because Source includes eating and gameplay on his live streams.
oh, so
There are-
that's the secret.
There are quite a few of
I've
us
never-
that started.
Have
Yeah,
it?
there are quite a few of us that started at right about the same time. GI, Surus, Wonder Lady actually appeared, Faye actually appeared at about the same time, but she really didn't start making content seriously until rather recently. Well, Shannon, oh my word. Shannon had 1,000 subscribers before she made a single video. I mean,
Yeah.
it's like,
Like,
that's
how'd she
not
pull that
fair.
I subbed to Shannon Q like at 400. So
Okay, I know. I subscribed to her a long time ago.
and I'm now
Was
a-
that only just because you knew she was with Pelagia? So you just subbed, even though she didn't have content?
Yeah, I think that's the way I did it. Because I discovered Pelagia, oh Christ, I think around April or so. And actually, Paul was responsible for my discovering Anti-Ordinary. She appeared on his channel at one point and said, hey, there's an interesting person. I'll subscribe to her too. A couple people he actually introduced me to. And he's a sweetie too, as far as that goes. Well, Shannon's even sweetier, but that's another story. I know. She and Paul are a thing. I don't get to horn my way in. Damn it!
I've tried.
See,
I've tried.
I can hear Paul's
Yeah, the
Canadian
other problem is
accent,
that
but not
Shannon
so
is
much
straight.
Shannon.
Oh, I was talking about Paul.
Oh, okay. No, I would be the one who would tend more toward Shannon.
I mean, they both look pretty good. Let's be honest.
Shannon is a beauty.
Oh, what's really
couple-
really beautiful about Shannon is that stuff that goes on between the left and the right ear.
Mm.
She is
I
a
love psychology.
A couple nights ago, Shannon was on a non-sec with. I can't remember who it was with, but the guy was. He was just crazy. He seemed very benign on stream, like he was very calm, but on Twitter he was absolutely insane.
Wouldn't
Oh,
be
who
hell
was
no
that? Was that
info, would it?
skinhead guy?
Yeah.
Was it the
Oh.
skinhead?
Yeah, the bald guy. What was his name? Can't even remember.
Oh yeah, he was. Oh yeah, he was saying. Yeah, that the left was irrational and the right was logical or something. Or
Yeah,
no, the left was emotional and the right was logical.
yeah, and that
But science has proven that it's the other way around, that the right or conservatives are more fear-based and more
I saw that.
because
Yeah.
they're
The
are larger,
fMRIs.
which is the fear center in the brain.
yeah, and
Yeah.
then Shannon got pretty triggered at him near the end there. It was
For promoting the non-FDA regulated. Is that the one?
no, he was talking about something about how basically saying heterosexuality was superior to homosexuality. Um,
Well, bite me.
yeah,
Well, he was worried about the whole population turning homosexual. Like
yeah,
that doesn't happen. It's only like a
That
small
wouldn't be a
percentage
bad
of.
yeah. Come on, come
Imagine
on,
a
Think
Luke.
about
Don't
what
think
homosexual
the
they're
state.
accepting the
interiors.
gay.
They
Just
might
think about
think
what the
California is.
interiors of
Yeah.
houses would look like.
Yeah, it's yeah, yeah. I didn't. I
Sorry,
only
Lonnie.
started watching Non Sequitur fairly recently. I heard about them before, but I didn't really know what they were. Uh, started watching them. They're great. Um,
I'm just interested. How do you have 18,000 subs and only have like few hundred every night on?
yeah, it's
How does that work? Like,
Well,
are a lot of subs bots or what? Or is it just people who just jump on after it's uploaded? Or
I
I'm
will.
thinking that they listen to it like podcasts.
Well,
They
I
just
will admit to listening to something and subscribing and then not going back very often.
yeah, yeah,
So
that's,
maybe it's a little of that going on.
yeah.
I
Or
Oh,
started.
I've got so many over here. I can't listen to every one of them. It would
well,
take me.
if you notice in the chat, there is a slow trickle of newcomers in the non-sec chats over
Mhm.
time.
Yeah.
Like Mikhail, he's
Yeah.
a newer one.
Yeah, I think I'm pretty noticeable in their chats too. Make a good deal of comments.
Now, I've appeared on Steve's show back when he had Cy 10 Brugenkate on most recently. That was fun. But I haven't been on since. I'm thinking of trying to get him on my show if we can just work out a time to do it.
Yeah.
There's
But
something about the non-sex show that made me kind of, just turn back my vitriolic atheism and just kind of, just respect some of the Christians on their shows more, or just respect Christians in general a little more.
Another show you might want to go to for that one, and I will admit I don't get there as often as I would like to, is called Mind the Gap. With Peter DeTucker and Karis Crane, and now is it Robert Reed, I believe, where they'll have theists on, and actually most of the time have very civil discussions.
Yeah, I think what it was for me when I realized I was an atheist, I was probably an atheist for many years before I really realized I was. I was like I found something new, and I was like really like energized by it, and I was like telling everyone, and arguing with all the theists, and
To the amazing atheist. That type of
Oh,
yeah, no,
my word.
I seen him many years ago, kind of when I found Thunderfoot, because Thunderfoot, I think his series on stupid things creationists say or whatever was one of the ones that
Oh,
got me.
yes, Why People Laugh at Creationists, I think it's
Yeah,
called.
that one, yeah. And then R and
binged
Raw was
all
the
of
next
his.
one.
Mhm.
Oh man, I've been following Aaron for years.
He's
And
great. I love
he
his
is a
videos.
big sweetie. Back when I was working with NCG Studios, he came on a couple of times, and I got to speak with him, etc., etc. And yeah, he is a big teddy bear. I love that man so dearly. I would consider changing my sexual orientation just for him.
I was going to say, when you say follow, you mean stalk, right? You mean stalking him.
And I know that his schedule is up one side and down the other. But he's another one I'd like to invite on my show. As long as we've got a decent topic to talk about, I do not want to invite the big names on just to have a big name there.
And Aaron is open to that too, because how many of the other big name atheists don't come on non-sec that often, and Aaron's always on there. I think he likes interacting with all the newer atheists and on the smaller channels.
I know a number of my friends. He's been on GI's channel. He's been on Cyrus's channel. Trying to think of. I think back when
Apologia.
Yes, several times. I think back when Brooke was still broadcasting as Cap Brony, I think she had Aaron on, if I remember correctly. I just never got around to inviting him on because, like I say, I wanted to have a topic that would make his being on worthwhile. You know, not one of these things with, "Hey, I've got Aaron Ra, come to my channel." You know, no.
He was also on Anthony Mabelablasco's or whatever you said.
Magdabasco.
Yeah, that one.
Street epistemology.
And Anthony's really nice too, by the way. I got to
reviewed a video for me before I uploaded it. The talking about karma video on my channel. He watched it and he gave me all these tips and stuff. I didn't even think he was going to reply to me, honestly. And before I know it, he's telling me, "Oh, you know what? I would have said this instead of this, and I would have done this differently." Like, wow, that's cool. I was just bullshitting with a friend. That's awesome.
I try and use this.
I got to work with Anthony when he was on the
and if they're honest
NCG
people,
studios.
Really.
Now the only bad thing about NCG was things got a little contentious, and I'm no longer there. And I hope they're doing all right, but so it's just not the place for me.
It's getting to be 8:30 where I am at. Probably for most of you guys.
It's 8:27 where I am.
Yeah. So
5.
And we've only been on only 2 hours. I mean, we got 6 hours to go.
Yeah.
I got lots of alcohol left.
Yeah, so non-sec, our Flatterday night fight will be coming on in a little bit.
I think it's already started.
Usually they start at 7 my time.
Oh, okay.
And it's 7:28.
So I was thinking of maybe ending it in the next couple minutes because I really like seeing.
I gotta go to the washroom.
Okay, so we can end it here. Look, we lost a bunch of viewers anyway. So why don't we do like shout outs, stuff like that? I have all your channels in the description, or it should be.
I know I put mine there.
Yeah, well, why don't you go first? Anything you want to say?
Oh, okay. I am the Lavender Lady, Diana Clarion. I do some response videos, especially to a channel called Catholic Answers. That's how I got started, as a matter of fact. And I do my own live streams. Right now, I have a show Sunday morning, 10 a.m. and Sunday evening at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. And I may expand to a Wednesday show. I don't know. I'll see if I can get enough topics together for something like that. And I'm also in the market for people to come on my channel and talk about things they like to talk about. If you have something you'd like to talk about on my channel, just drop me a line and we can work something out. On Twitter, I am Lavender Lady 0.
All right, Landon. Oh, sorry.
And I think that's it for me.
Okay.
Oh yeah, I follow on Twitter, but the only thing my channel really got big was just one clip I uploaded of an atheist experience episode where Matt was critiquing Milo Yiannopoulos, and that one got way over 100,000 views.
My word.
But that's because I capitalized on it at that time. He was really popular last spring. Everyone is talking about Milo. So I uploaded a clip, and yeah, it pretty much like took off, and then like it was just a clip. I'd like to do something on my. I'm kind of watching all these other channels,
You're
and my
cutting in and
channel
out.
is Landon Weeb. Yeah, yeah, my channel is Landon Weeb. Yeah.
Landon Weeb. Yeah, I got your link in the description,
Did
or
I,
it should be. Brant, you got anything to say?
Oh my word, I am not subscribed to you. I have now remedied that situation.
I've been on YouTube since apparently December 26, 2007. I think my first video upload was 2 years ago, though. I'm going to be creating content here and putting content out. I'm bad at writing scripts, and shout outs. Want to shout out Notja because he's almost at 1,000 subscribers.
I'm looking at him right now, and he's at 998.
So
Oh.
unsubscribe to him so you can be number 1,000.
And
Just
he
wait.
is,
not subscribed
Maybe I'll
right
just
now.
use my
I'm gonna
sock
go and
account.
do that.
he
Oh,
is
he's
I have
Just
another
talking about-
YouTube channel.
You just pretend like you're on Australia. And then obviously Shannon Q. Then there's a kid out here in Idaho, just I'd say a half hour away from me. His name is Conrad Vlogs. I could throw his name or whatever in the description too. But I don't know how he'd see this. He might be subbed. Well, if he's not subbed to you, but he's subbed to
No.
me.
If you want to share the video with him, please do.
Yeah, I can share the video with him, but I'm just shouting him out because he makes a vlog every day, and
Dedication.
it is dedication, and he gets excited about his view count, and it's almost cute. I almost want to call him a lol cow, but he's a good guy and he's a good kid. So I plan on getting him on my stream tomorrow to talk about vlogging. So that's just something to look out for. Is all I'm saying.
Right.
I
So-
listed my MySpace page link in the description of the video. So if anyone else is on MySpace, go ahead and give me a friend request.
Well then. So I'm Mikhail Malik. This is my channel, and definitely if you aren't subscribed, but you probably are if you're on here, subscribe to these people. They're pretty great. I think I might do another one of these next weekend. If Brant, you're down, or anyone else
Oh, yeah,
is for that.
Oh, moo.
Huh?
Moo. That's sort of like, hey, how do you like that?
Oh, okay, yeah. But thanks for watching. If you aren't subscribed, please subscribe. But you're probably a subscriber already.
Well, I am now.
Yeah, thank you very much. Have a nice night, everybody. And I should have thought of a sign off before.
Terry's birthday is apparently on the 14th.
Oh,
Oh,
happy birthday,
hey.
Terry.
Happy birthday on you.
Happy birthday.
Yeah.
Happy birthday
Right.
to you. You live in a zoo. You look like a monkey, and you smell like one too. I don't know. Way
Right, so-
back from my grade school days.
Yeah. So, see everybody.